Today, I'm going to defluence you against going solo as an esthetician straight out of school. Hear me out, okay? It's because I want to see you guys have long-term success in your career. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I personally would do and did do to get to this point in my career. 15 years in now, you guys, and still going strong. So keep on listening. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Bree Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and First to Market Wax Pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, hear me out. I'm not trying to be a naysayer or a negative Nelly or any of those things. I have just seen this time and time again, and I don't know what the specific stats are, but I would guess it's around 80% of people end up not even using their license outside of school. And a big factor into that is, I think, just not setting themselves up for success. So why do I not recommend going solo straight out of school? It's because usually you're still working on your technique, and we cannot go solo and be building a brand for ourselves solely under your name if you have not mastered technique. Coming back from a bad reputation is extremely difficult. So I'm saying this with love because I want to see every single one of you succeed and have a long-standing, successful career within the beauty industry. Again, I've seen it time and time again where people just completely overwhelm themselves, build bad reputations because they're still mastering technique, and it just can go south really quickly and be really overwhelming and put you guys under unnecessary stress. Now, are there unicorns out there? Absolutely. There's definitely exceptions to the rule, and you may be one of those. So please, I'm not trying to be a naysayer. This is me coming from a place of wanting to support you and see you succeed, okay? So step number 1 is always mastering your technique. Now that we got all that out of the way, I'm going to go over the 5 reasons why I do not believe you should go solo straight out of school. Reason number 1, I already said this. You have not mastered your craft yet. So we want to get clear, what is it that you really enjoyed doing in school? What services do you see yourself providing in the future? Go and get some experience with those. Master it. If it's waxing, take my 6-week course. I have a full online 6-week course. Go take that. I'm contradicting myself. I've actually had quite a few girls tell me that they've taken that course and then we're practicing on friends and family. That's the key. They're getting reps in, and then they did go solo and they've been pretty successful. So an option, but the key here is they've spent time mastering the technique first. So technically they did not go straight solo because they put in the time and effort to make sure they're mastering their technique. You just don't want to build that bad reputation. Reason number 2 is you don't yet know how to run a business. So I think people get confused a little bit that when you go solo, you're signing up. You're not just an esthetician. You're an entrepreneur, and you need to learn how to run a business. There's going to be so much that comes up with running a business that you can't even foresee right now yet, like operations, finances, marketing and advertising. There's so much that you need to do in order to build a clientele and build a sustainable, profitable business, and you're not a business owner yet, unless you have background in business and you're really solid on those things. But for the majority of us, this is our first time going into business. So you want to be studying that while you're working somewhere else. That's my biggest suggestion, is go master technique somewhere else, get your foot in the door, get some reps under your belt, make sure that you really do enjoy the services that you're providing. For me, for example, I went and worked at a day spa. I got into the industry thinking I wanted to do facials and skincare, and then I worked at a day spa for a little over a year, and I found out, I like it, but this isn't for me. I love the fast-pacedness of waxing, and I just fell in love with that service. So that's another reason, go test different services. Get your feet wet a little bit before you go and buy a full back bar for $5,000. And then you're like, I hate facials and I can't get anyone to book with me. So that's another reason why I take a little bonus for you. But number 2 is you just don't know how to run a business yet. So you don't want to be trying to master technique at the same time as learning how to run a business. Number 3 is you can financially strain yourself way too early. So just like I mentioned with the back bar, getting into a lease and you don't have clients yet. There's a lot that goes into opening up your own business and going solo. Now you have all this stress. You have the stress of, okay, I'm still new and working on my technique. I need to get clients in the door and learn how to build a business. And now I'm under financial stress. Like that sucks. That's a really place to be. And I don't want you to put yourself in that position when it doesn't need to be that way. Owning a business already comes with its own stressors, even when it's the right time to be opening it. But let's not add additional stress for when it's unnecessary. So that's number 3, is that you're going to most likely really put yourself in financial strain. And the majority of us get into this with time and financial freedom as the goal. So we want to set ourselves up for success for that.
Quick interruption to the show for my waxers who are getting busier every month, but inventory has you stressed out, feels unpredictable. This is going to make your life a whole lot easier. With a Rebel Wax subscription, you can save 10 to 15% plus unlock free shipping on select tiers, and you never have to worry about running out again. We've all been there. You have a full day of clients, look in your pot, realize you're almost out. You're forced to pay rush shipping, do an emergency supply run, buying wax that you're unfamiliar with and oftentimes is overpriced, or even worse, you have to cancel your clients. It's stressful, it's inconvenient, and it disrupts your entire day, sometimes even your entire week. With subscriptions, you can customize everything: your formula, your bag size, your quantity, your frequency of delivery, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, and your wax will ship to you automatically. And you can pause, skip, or cancel at any time. This was made for solo waxers who want consistency and savings as they grow. To get started, visit lashwaxoc.com, choose your bag size, your formula, the quantity that you would like, and then make sure to click subscribe and save. Then you will see 30, 60, 90, and 120 day delivery options. Choose which one is best for you, then click add to cart. Once you do this, your discount applies immediately and your wax will ship right on time. Again, visit lashwaxoc.com, set up your subscription, and make stocking wax the easiest part of your month. Now back to the show.
Number 4 is that you're missing out on mentorship and building a community. I think it's easier to build a community now, though, I would say, and to get mentorship than it was when I first started. You really needed to work under someone before, but now with social media and how many educators are willing, it's different because not always like in person, but I feel like the industry is really changing right now where people are really focusing on building community and sharing education. I think you could still build that, but it's so nice to be working for someone where you have coworkers and you have someone above you, your boss, the owner, depending on where you decide to work, but that's really guiding you and holding your hand and helping you as you embark on this new journey and this new career path. So that's something you could potentially miss out on if you go solo right away. It can be very lonely. If you go solo and you don't have that community, you don't have that support, it could be even more difficult than it needs to be. And then 5th, you risk burning out and you risk really depleting your confidence. And I've seen this so many times where when people fail going solo, then they just quit on the industry as a whole. I've only heard maybe a handful of people who attempted to go solo, it didn't work out. They went and worked somewhere and then they attempted to go solo again and then it did work out. Super cool. I love those stories. So rare though. A lot of times you burn yourself out so much. It's kind of like equivalent to when clients go and get a wax for the first time and it was horrific because they went to the wrong person or whatever circumstance happened, but it was horrific. And then they swear waxing off for life, even though if they would go to the right person who's really mastered their technique and is a pro in Brazilians or whatever service, then they would be confident in continuing with waxing. Same thing here. It's like if you burn yourself and you lose that confidence up front, it's really hard to force yourself to go back and to do it again. So what I would do instead, if you are fresh out of school, I would go and work somewhere. So my personal journey was I worked at European Wax Center. Well, I worked at the day spa first, learned that facials weren't the direction I wanted to go. So instead of wasting, you guys, seriously, facials, you can easily, like $5,000 is like on the lower end of what you're going to spend to get back bar. And then not even to mention all the equipment and stuff that we want to be able to provide really great facial services. So that taught me that, saved me a lot of money and time. Well, yeah, saved me time for sure. 100%. Working there, learning, that's not the direction I want to go. Then I worked at European Wax Center, and that's when I was like, this is it. Do I want to work here for the rest of my life? No. Did I get the sets and reps in and absolutely master technique and become a trainer and start learning like how to educate other waxers? Yes. And that has set me up. All of this, literally, I can stem back to my time at European Wax Center because I learned so much. I performed over 10,000 Brazilians during my time at European Wax Center, trained tons of different estheticians, and that directly, I still use that experience to this day. While you're there, while you're working there, observe everything. Don't just do, I can't stand it's like, that's not my job. That's not the attitude that you need to have if you're wanting to go, if eventually your goal is to go solo. Observe what promotions do they have? How do they sell packages? Like, what do I like about the client experience? What do I not like? How can I improve on a client experience? Look at everything. Marketing, you're not going to get an insight into their finances, but look at their marketing, look at operations. How do they do inventory? Watch and observe all of it and help out as much as you can in those areas so that you're learning beyond just the technique. And now you're learning some business operations as well. I did not share this with you to discourage you. This is actually me encouraging you to have a long-lasting, sustainable career because I want to see you win. I really do. I want to see you guys win. If you are looking to get hired for your first job, go ahead and watch this video. If you want to hear my personal story from European Wax Center, go ahead and watch this video. If you're listening on Spotify, you'll head to episode 64 for how to get your first job, and you'll head to episode 6, one of our very beginning episodes for my EWC story. I'll see you guys over there.